Bro. They are purposely trying to keep Violet and Zayden apart. They're purposely doing this. Exactly. Exactly. A writer says don't run, you don't run. Literally pisses me off. When a writer tells you anything in reference to dragons, you listen to them. It does not matter if you are a healer, if you are an infantry, or if you're a scribe. It don't matter. You listen to them. This is why people are dead. Jacinia, Violet's friend that's a scribe, is catching on. She's catching on that missing records. No, she's catching on that the archives have missing records. And she's thinking either it's intentional or ignorance. Either way, they're incomplete. And she's fine. She's realizing that. Where's my highlighter, bro? I gotta highlight this. I know that's right. Nolan brought back Jack. This dude was dead. What the fuck? Bro, something may have happened to Zayden. Wait, so he's not harmed? Bro. He's worried why Violet's wearing someone else's flight jacket. Read the room, Zayden. Read the room. Okay, he's not hurt. Or no, he was hurt, but he's mended. Okay. Fucking Taryn. Catriona. What? Bro. Mira sees her brother for the first time after 6 years of him being dead, and she punches him. Oh my god. Hey, bro. So they're at the ruins trying to, get the ward up. Hush. And Violet says, according to Warwick, the first 6 bled their life. And everyone turns and looks at her. Because they meant like, they're going to bleed to death. No. Hey. What if Iron Rain? Do they have to melt the iron a little bit? He's so cute. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, good girl. Ooh. Oh my god. So, Mira, Brennan, and Violet, they, get on the dragons to go meet with Takaris, thinking that she's going behind Zayden's back. The moment she gets there, who's there? Zayden. Oh, lordy. Wow. Violet's mad at Taryn because she told Taryn to promise not to tell Sigale where they were going. Whenever, that's what she says, you and I are going to have a discussion, you promised. You want to know what Taryn's remark was? I promised not to tell, not that she couldn't sense me. Then next it says, fucking dragon semantics. Yes, because that's exactly what I would do. Bro, Catriona is the niece of Takaris. That's how she knows Zayden. Because, they had a little thing going on too. But that's how she knows him, because he was pretty much royalty. Her uncle's royalty. Yes. Ooh. That's what you get. No, mama. Oh, Sawyer wants to learn sign for Jacinia. That makes sense. That makes sense. Bro. And Darna has become a violent little thing. I know that's right. Oh my gosh. Oh, fucking darn it. So cute. Oh, see, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Y'all stupids. Oh, fuck. Okay. Why the fuck would she not want to fucking fight? Darna becoming an adolescent is just hilarious for her. Y'all, this phone is now full from all the videos I've been taking for my channel. I thought I was recording. I was not. But anyways, okay, let me tell you something. I was recording last night and this other phone died. So a whole lot of reactions were not filmed and we found out a lot. And there were a lot of funny scenes, mostly from Andarna. So I'm going to read some quotes that I thought were pretty damn funny. So Andarna is developing both Taryn and Sigal's sass. And given that she's an adolescent, it's even funnier because she's kind of temperamental a little bit too. But anyway, one thing I think that's hilarious is that even though Andarna is no longer this little gold feather-tailed dragon, she has in fact grown. And she is literally Taryn's miniature. A miniature version of Taryn because she is black. Now, she's still smaller though. It said that like in the book, it said that she's like 3/3 the size of Sigal. So she's still a pretty big dragon. She's still like taller than the humans, okay? But I think it's funny because she still has to be hooked up to Taryn's harness. Because unfortunately, she cannot fly because I guess something with her rapidly growing as fast as she did, she wasn't able to fully extend like one wing out. It was like crippled a little bit, and so it needs some work. So right now she's being harnessed onto Taryn still, which I think is hilarious. But eventually the elders are helping her strengthen her wings so that she can fly. So she has been able to fly now, just not as long. And then Riddick comes up to Andarna, smiling at her. You know, Riddick's just here on vibes, okay? He's just here on vibes. That's how he's surviving all of this. And he comes up to Andarna and says, the little mini Taryn is becoming ferocious, isn't she? But before he could even finish his sentence, Andarna snaps her teeth less than a foot from his face and says that I am no one's miniature. And Riddick's like, damn, I meant big. I meant big. Okay. Oh, Andarna's hilarious. Riddick, I'm here for Riddick. And then Violet tells her that she needs to like not be spending so much time with Sigal because Sigal was rubbing off on her, which I mean, yeah, obviously. She's developing both Taryn and Sigal sass. And then, okay, so they're in Erisha. I think that's how you say the name. And there's riders and there's flyers. Riders are from Navarre who are you know, they're bonded to dragons. And then the flyers are those from Caldire, they're the other people that are bonded to griffins, okay? And so they are now kind of coexisting and living together to help kind of fight what's going on with the wyvern and the venom and stuff. And the professors on both ends of the colleges, from Basgiath and or Basgiath, however you say it, and the other Griffin Flyer College, they are telling everyone that they are now having to absorb or like become one with the Flyers. So now Flyers are being assigned to their squad. So now like they're in their section, they're in their squads. They can't hurt them pretty much. And so the professors are saying like how they only have one time if they want to beat someone's ass up, because of course indifferences, definitely since Navarre was hiding a shit ton of secrets and they pretty much grew up hating the Flyers and the Griffins and everything. So the professors and everyone are like, you got like one chance to pretty much beat someone's ass up, put it on the mat right here, and after this it's done. Any indifferences, any feelings, like bad feelings, ill intentions that you have towards the Flyers and vice versa to the writers, gone. You're handling this right here, right right here, right now, one time only on the mat. And so of course Catriona, which we all know is Xaden's betrothed, she's like, she hates Violet because Violet has Xaden. Xaden chose Violet pretty much. And so Catriona chooses Violet to pretty much try to beat the shit on the mat, okay? This is what Andarna says. Andarna says, scratch her eyes out. Really, the eyes are the softest tissue. Just jab your thumbs in there. But then Taryn snaps at her and interrupts her and says for her to use common sense and that the kneecaps are an easier target because Catriona is taller than Violet. For Andarna being an adolescent, she's a feisty little thing. Or not little, because she's bigger than humans now, but still, she's feisty. And pretty much like all the marked ones, like Riddick, Sawyer, but even Rihanna, they're all like, say the word and we will bury a body. They're speaking of Catriona, right? And of course, Andarna chimes in, right? She's like, good idea, I could use a snack. Because Andarna's like, you know what, I never tasted humans. I've never tasted a griffin. So she's like, go ahead, kill them. I can use a snack. And Taryn's like, we do not eat our allies. And then Andarna's, this is what Andarna said. Andarna says, you never let me have any fun. I love Andarna. She's so cute. She's like my spirit animal. Yeah. So Xaden comes back from wherever, right? And he's like bummed, he's just down now or whatever. Violet finds him, and this is where we know how big Xaden is, okay? So it's starting to snow in Arisha, and Violet's like, it's already snowing up the pass, I bet we get 7 inches tonight. And then the corner of Xaden's mouth lifts up and he's like, maybe more if you're good, right? And Violet's like, are you making dick jokes? And then he's laughing. He's like, you're talking about the weather. Which shows us that he's bigger than 7 inches. Okay? I would like to know how, but you know what? It's all good. We'll just live vicariously through Violet. And then, okay, this is when I figured out that what I was thinking earlier, okay, because, okay, here's the lowdown. Here's the lowdown. Violet failed to raise the wards the first time because she translated it wrong. She thought it was supposed to be an iron rain, but that's not the translation. However, when she said iron rain, immediately in my mind, I'm thinking like melting, like an iron rain. She thought it was like the blood of 6 of the strongest riders putting, you know, their hand on the stone and just kind of letting their blood like drip or whatever. She thought that's what it meant, iron, because the stone is iron. Rain, blood. So she thought that's what it meant. However, I was like, I don't think that's what it meant, because I'm thinking iron rain. So I'm thinking melting iron. And then I'm like, what if heat or fire is needed? Okay, I didn't even think about dragons. I was just like, what if fire is needed? And this is when we find out that fire is in fact needed, okay? Her translation was slightly wrong because Violet likes to read things from beginning to end. This time in Warwick's journal, she did not read it beginning to end, so her translation was a little off with some stuff, and she figured out that the blood of life is actually the breath of life, and that instead of an iron rain, it's iron flame. She was able to discover that because the translations for rain or blood or whatever was different earlier in Warwick's journal, so she was able to figure out that it's actually an iron flame, which hence the title Iron Flame. Instead of 6 of the strongest riders, she needs 6 of the strongest dragons, because she needs them to pretty much fire torch the iron. The iron doesn't melt, okay? They just each need to torch it to help raise the wards. But before she figured out that iron rain actually is translated to iron flame, she figured out that they actually have to imbue the stone. I believe that's the word, how you pronounce it, imbue the stone first. So her, Zayden, and Dane have all been imbuing it for like a month or so, and now it's finally humming that something's going on with the ward or with the stone. And so now they're at the point to where, okay, so that means it's holding magic. So now they're able to actually raise the wards, because if you try to raise the wards and the stone isn't imbued, nothing's gonna happen, okay? So she finally figured out that she needs 6 of the strongest 6 of the strongest dragons and their flame to just fire breathe on the stone. So I was like, ooh, she gonna get these wards up. And poor Andarna, she just wants to fly with everyone. It's so funny, because since she grows so fast, faster than normal, because of all the energy she was using in fourth wing, she grew, okay? And that development, that growth, that acceleration of growth made her have kind of some issues, because she's not able to fully extend one of her wings because the muscles aren't there. So the elders have been helping her kind of strengthen her muscles, and now she's able to fly, but not for long periods. Like, we're talking like maybe an hour. That's it. Because her wings still are very weak. And so she insists that wherever she flies to, that she can fly with her and Taryn. And Taryn's like, no, you can't. But they go on like a little quest, shall you say. It's more of like it's a challenge. If you win it, you can get like a weekend off pretty much. You go do whatever you want, go wherever you want, leave, you know, go visit family, etc., etc. And so eventually, Andarna does come with them during this challenge, because it's not that long of a flight, so she's able to fly. But she's wanting to fly with Taryn, but she can't do that because, again, her wings are not fully developed. They're not, all the muscles are not there. She just can't fly for long. So she's just kind of walking around with Violet and everyone else that's in their little group on this little challenge, including one of the griffins too. So she's just walking with them, and she's all bummed out because she can't fly. Adolescents, I swear, they think they know everything, right? Oh my god, it is funny because Taryn thinks that Andarna's not big enough or anything to really protect Violet. And Andarna's like, I am fully present and capable of protecting her. And she snipes this like at Taryn, like through their minds, you know. And Taryn's like, you do not yet breathe fire. And she said, fire would only serve to melt the mountain. They don't want to melt the mountain. She's like, I still wield teeth and claw should the Aristocat try her vitriol? Anyway, she's talking about Catriona. So if Catriona tries to do anything, Andarna is like, all game for just Cap, okay? Violet was saying this to Cap. I honestly think you might be worse than a dragon when it comes to confidence. And Andarna corrects her and says, arrogance. The flyer doesn't have the skills to back up a word like confidence. Love Andarna. She's just fucking hilarious. Anyway, they have to they're collecting, I forgot what it was, but Taryn can feel the energy from it that they're trying to look for. Okay, so they're finding runes. There's 30 of them, and whoever finds the most wins the weekend off. Okay, so that's what they're looking for. So they go into the cave that Taryn said that he can feel the energy and he knows it's in fact in there. However, the cage or the cave is like a big dragon den. Well, it once was housed by dragons, but not for a very, very long time. And these are like little caves that dragons would go into during the winter, and it's so big they don't know like which ways to go, so they just kind of go off pure luck and be like, okay, let's go this way, if not then we'll come back. Okay, so anyway, they go down one of the paths in the caves. They find the room that they're looking for, and guess who shows up? Before I say that, Andarna is the one that says that something feels off. Yeah, so Andarna is sensing something, and Violet can sense that something's like Andarna knows that something's wrong, right? And she said that the scent of others grows stronger, and Violet's thinking, holy shit, wyvern. She's like, no, they smell of stolen magic when you get close enough. And she's like, this smells of dragons. So they're like, okay, got it, that means another team is coming to try and take the ruin so that they can win. So they're like, all right, we need to hurry up, fucking hurry up, get the fuck out of here. Y'all want to know the dragon that found them in the cave? Solas. Remember, Solas was Varys's dragon. And Violet, you know him. He found them, and he is like out to kill Violet. And that is literally what he is trying to do. So Andarna, since Andarna is fireproof, she tells everyone, even the griffin that's with them, like she like pretty much puts them up against the cave, has her wings out, and tells them to hold their breath because Solas blasts them with fire. And the reason why they can't hold, that they need to hold their breath, because if they breathe, it's so hot. If they breathe, their lungs are done for. Okay, they're going to incinerate themselves pretty much from the inside out. And Solas is just out to kill her. And remember, Solas only has one eye, so his vision, he got like, you know, the depth isn't all there. So they're just like trying to figure out how the hell to kill him, yada yada yada. Terrence like, go for the other eye. And pretty much Andarna kills Solas because Violet is knocked unconscious from Solas. And so Sloane and Kat, like, they're trying to get her out the cave because she pretty much saved everyone's life. She said once there's an opening to get past Solas, y'all run. And so once they did it, once they got that opening, they ran, and Violet was staying with Andarna and just like trying to fight this dragon. Okay, but Andarna comes out. She killed him because she has poison on her tail. So she killed Solas, and technically dragons aren't supposed to kill other dragons except for very like extenuating circumstances. And Violet and Taryn were like so relieved that she didn't die, but there's so much pride filled them as well because she killed Solas, and Taryn called her slayer. Give my girl down her respect. And you know, if you kill other dragons, you can get in trouble for it if like a dragon kills another dragon. But the elders found Andarna's actions justifiable, so she's good. Okay, and now they raise the wards. You know, all the dragons lined up, did what they had to do with the little stone, and once they did that, they were able to immediately feel that same magic that they did back in Navarre, like behind the shields and everything. They're able to feel it, so they know that the wards are up. They just don't know if they're actually working. So they were noted that like wyvern and venom are coming for them, so they go to the very edges of the wards to protect it and see if it's actually holding up. The wyvern and the venom were trying to pretty much ambush them, coming from all sides, all different angles, And since they have the wards up, the moment they pass through the wards, they can still fly for like a tiny bit, and then they just kind of just drop dead. That's what happens. So that's how they know that the wards are up and working, protecting them from venom and wyvern. However, you know, before all of this, someone told Violet something, and it clicked in her head that, like, oh shit, she remembered what Xaden told her. Okay. And before they flew out to the cliffs, and before the dragons even all got together and did their little firestorm on the ward to help, on the stone to help rise up the wards, Violet asked Xaden what his other signet was. You heard that right, because Sigel was like his great-great-grandfather's dragon, and you're not supposed to bond with a dragon that has like direct ties to your familial line. Being said, like, him and Sigel were not supposed to bond because Sigel had already bonded to like his great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, whichever one it was. And normally if you do that, either you go mad or you develop a second signet. The reason she kind of put two and two together is because someone else bonded to a dragon. I forgot who it was. I think maybe it was Sloane that had bonded. My dog just farted and scared herself and she took off. Mama, that was you. But I forgot who it was. But one of the riders who bonded a dragon that had already been bonded to someone in their family, but it wasn't a direct familial line. It was like their aunt or something. So that's why they didn't go mad, because it wasn't like her mother or father and like their parents. No, it was like a sibling of someone in her family. So that's why like they didn't go mad, right? And so it clicked in her head like, fuck, Xaden told her that Sigel was bonded to his great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and that's not supposed to happen whatsoever. You can get in big trouble if dragons bond to riders, and like in that sense with direct familial connections. So she asked Xaden what his second signet was, and he speechless. He pales, probably because he didn't think that she would kind of figure it out, that he most likely has a second signet, because he is very in control, so he's not going mad. And he tries to avoid the question until they go to the very edges of the wards to defend from the wyvern and the venom, and she starts figuring it out, and she's like saying all this stuff, and he's like, stop, like pretty much like, shut up. Because once they cross that territory to find out what his second signet is, it can like ruin everything for them. And while Violet's like trying to think what his second signet is, because Xaden's not telling her, she said that it's impossible. Like, she's thinking it's impossible to have a signet that no one has detected. So he's like very good at hiding it, you know. And no one knows that he has a second signet. No one knows that Sigel was bonded to like his great-great-grandfather or whatever. Hey, hush. And then this is whenever she picks it up, okay? I'm gonna read exactly what she's thinking. He has to have full control. He has to make snap character judgments. He has to intrinsically know who to trust and who not to, in order for the movement to have been successful as it was within the walls of Basgiath. He has to know everything. Xaden's most pressing need is information. Terran shifts, angling his body towards Sigel instead of beside her, like, the fuck? And then she's like, oh God, so there's only one signet riders are killed for having. Fear churns in my stomach and threatens to bring up what little I've had to eat. And Xaden knows. By this time she's figured it out, so he nods yes, confirming what she's thinking. And Xaden's like, yes, it's how I knew I could trust you not to tell anyone about the meeting under the tree last year, back in Fourth Wing. How I seem to know what my opponent has planned on the map before their next move. How I know exactly what someone needs to hear in order to get them to do what I need done, and how I knew if someone remotely suspected us while we were in Basgiath. It's why I didn't kill Dane in the interrogation chamber, why I let him come with us, because the second his shields wavered, I knew he had a true epiphany. How would I know that, Violet? And Violet's like, fuck. He read Dane's mind. And she's like, you're an intrinsic, which is like a made-up word pretty much. And Zane is like, I'm a type of intrinsic. I can read intentions. Maybe I would know what to call it if they didn't kill anyone, if they didn't kill everyone with even a hint of the signet. And she's like, so you can read thoughts or no? And he's like, it's more complicated than that. Think of that breath of a second before the actual thought, the subconscious motivation you might not even be aware of in your mind, or when instinct drives you to move, or you're looking to betray someone. The intention is always there. Mostly they come across as pictures, but some people intend in really clear pictures. And at this point, Taryn's pissed because Taryn did not know, because Sigel could not tell him. Even though they are mates, Sigel could not tell him this. Otherwise, they would have been in trouble. And back and forth wing, if you remember, the first year that manifested their signet, that was going crazy because they were reading everyone's minds, even Dane's, and Dane's like, wait, is he reading my mind? Or yada yada yada. Remember how he was killed by the professor? Because they are not allowed. But Dane is, which I'm just like, that's completely fucked up. That Dane has a mind reading power, but with him, he has to actually touch your face in order to get your memories. But whereas the guy that was killed, he could just read anyone's memories. Like, you know, he could read everyone's thoughts without touching them. And he was killed by the professor because they're not allowed. And you know what? Ever since reading Ira Flame, I wonder why. I wonder why intrinsic people are not allowed. Like, those signets are not allowed, because Navarre, Basgiath, they have been lying for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, they've been keeping secrets. So this is why I'm thinking that they did not want anyone with a signet to live, because they will find out the truth about the history that they did not want people to know about, because one generation completely wiped out certain parts of history. So that way you come to hate people. Yeah. So I'm just like, now that Xaden has this signet of mind reading in some way, he should be dead. But he's so good at hiding it. But anyways, Taryn feels betrayed because Sigel couldn't tell him. He couldn't tell no one. And he hid it so well. How was no one able to feel that he had a second signet? And so after all this, you know, and so they get back to Orisha, they get back to Rorson house, and Violet was so afraid that the flyers, you know, the ones that are bonded to griffins, were going to lose their power, because once the wards are up, they'll most likely lose their power, but not the riders, just the flyers. And so she comes back, and Serena's one of the flyers that's bonded to a griffin, and shows her that she has still lesser magic and can still kind of wield power. And so she's very, very happy, right? But Serena's like, she's like, I'm glad that my powers weren't stripped, but that means something's wrong with the wards, pretty much. If she's able to have her power still, or some type of power to wield whatever her power is, that means something is actually wrong with the wards. Even though they're protected from the wyvern and the venom, there's still something wrong with the wards. Oh shit, what is it? And that's when I stopped, because I realized my phone had died, and I only have like this much left. Can you see that? Yeah, this much left of the book. And people said that the ending is kind of like, it might have me crying. So I was like, you know what, no, I need to get this reaction. So I stopped. Oh, but one thing I forgot to mention is that Sloane, Liam's sister, manifested her power, her signet, when they were in the cave looking for the rune for that challenge where Solas was there, she manifested her signet, and she thought she was like a Venin, okay? Because she was like, she drained Catriona of her power. So she's like, oh my gosh, am I Venin? Like, she's freaking out. She's freaking out, thinking she's turning to Venin. She's like, are my eyes red? Like, what's going on with me, right? And Taryn confirmed what Violet was thinking, I believe. I don't feel like going back and looking for it. But Taryn said that, told Violet that she is exactly as Nolan was. And I believe Nolan was his previous rider that died. And Nolan was a siphon, which means Sloane is a siphon. And if I'm not mistaken, the fact that she was able to drain Catriana's power means that she's able to siphon power from different people and use it, I believe. But yeah, she drained Kat's power when they were in the cave, and she was freaking out. But she just found out she's a siphon. And I don't think any of the riders are siphons right now, so she's the only siphon. Yep. Fucking darn it, bro. After telling her there would be no logical way to explain her presence, even if Taryn carried her, which she was adamantly opposed to, and Darna cursed Taryn's entire family line, then blocked us both and went to practice with the elders. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Taryn. Oh my gosh. Taryn is ready to Zayden. Thank God for Taryn's ability. Not Taryn, thank God for Zayden's ability. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I need to highlight that. Ooh, Brennan showed up. That's why their mom's face dreaded color. Brennan showed up. Oh shit. Oh shit. So the wyvern that crossed like the territory of like the wards, the border, even though they fell and died, they weren't truly dead because something's wrong with their wards. So they go to the dead wyvern, and turns out they're not really dead. What? So Violet had to kill one with lightning, but what? They should be dead. So something's fucked up with their wards. So Violet figured out that Melgren's epiphany for the wyvern and Venom taking over Samara is not actually going to happen. That they're actually going to attack Basgiath. Because Melgren cannot see the future if 3 or more riders with relics are together. So she's putting together that they're going to meet at Basgiath, that the wyvern are going for Basgiath. Oh shit. And the hatching grounds are at Basgiath. Holy shit. Basgiath wards are not guarded. Why is there a dragon in there? Why is Bade with the stone? Why is Bade with the ward stone in Basgiath? If y'all don't know, Bade is Jack's dragon. Jack, the one who was mended after being toppled over by a mountain, like the mountain coming down on him. He's alive. They mended him and everything. He's alive. And Bates is dragon. Okay, Bates' eyes are opaque instead of golden. What does that mean? Exactly. Oh, I knew something was wrong. The moment they brought Jack back, I knew something was off. Riddick, his hand. Jack just killed his dragon. Jack killed his dragon. And the wards have fallen. What the fuck? My thoughts are correct. Jack is a villain. Fucking Jack. And darn, oh my god. So stubborn. They did. What the hell are the first years doing there? Sloane needs to get herself. And Brennan's there? Ooh, the Flyers are there too? Wait, so did they come with their griffins? Okay. The Flyers are looking for the ruins. They're looking for the ruins because they're faster and they can catch them, okay. Fucking Andarna. She's hooked up to Taryn right now on her harness because the Wyvern and Bennett are coming for Beskaya. She didn't want to leave. Bro, And Darna's pretty much camouflage with the darkness. Violet's starting to think like Taryn now. Did something happen to Adrian? What about Riddick? What? She did not just tell Taryn to catch her and Sawyer in the air. Oh my gosh, is Andarna coming to Violet's rescue? Andarna can breathe fire. How can Andarna hide when she... What? This doesn't make sense. Oh my god. Beginning of 64, there's a little correspondence, and it's the letter from Liam to his sister saying, "You're going to love Violet. She's smart and stubborn, reminds me a lot of you actually. You just have to remember when you meet her, she's not her mother," and that brought tears to my eyes. I know Violet did not just tell Kodog, Melgren's dragon, that she needs to talk to him. To the dragon, to Kodog, the biggest dragon there is. She got some balls. What? Andarna waited 650 years to hatch. Waited until your 18th summer when I heard our elders talk of the weakling daughter of their general, the girl forecasted to become the head of the scribes, and I knew. You would have the mind of a scribe and the heart of a writer. You would be mine. You are as unique as I am. We want the same things. That's what Andarna said. Hold on. You are not a black dragon or any of the 6 that we know of. You're a 7th breed. Yes. I want you to tell me everything, but our friends are dying, so I need to ask if you are willing to breed farther for this time. Okay, whatever. And Darna is a 7th breed of dragon. Oh my gosh. There's another breed of wyvern. Satan's dying. Bro, don't tell me Zayden's been. Do not tell me. No, 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 no. What the fuck's going on? Fuck. What kind of fuck up shit was this? Like I want to cry, but then I don't. But Zayden's been in now.